Hi, I'm Melinda Van Fleet, and welcome to the Good Karma Success Coach podcast. I'm an author, speaker, and success coach who helps women believe in themselves, build confidence, and take action. In 2009, my husband Ryan and I were laid off at the same time, and we moved to the Florida Keys without jobs, not knowing anyone, hardly any money, and we never even been here. But we made it. And now, not every day is sunshine and rainbows, but we're living our best lives. All along in our journey, I've always said that someday when we get our shit together, we will help others. So each week, my intent is to be relatable and bring you tactical tips, tools, share my learnings and stories that can help inspire or transform you wherever you are in your career or general life and make an impact. I strongly believe that if I can do it, you can do it too. So what's stopping you? Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's Good Karma Success Coach podcast. I am over the moon excited to have a returning guest with me, Deb Frueh. Deb has been on my podcast twice before, episode 104. So yes, quite a while ago, December 20th, where we talked about my tarot card reading. And Deb is a tarot card reader. She'll go into that. And then episode 131 on May 16th, 2021, where we talked about the Worldwide Metaphysical Tribe, which is Deb's annual event. This is going to be her 9th annual event this coming August 11th through 13th. So I wanted to have Deb back on the podcast so we could have a little bit of a reminisce about last year's event, which I went to and it was amazing. And then she can share about this coming event. So welcome, Deb.
Oh, thanks for having me again. I just love talking about the tribe event. This year, it's incredible.
It's going to be awesome. And last year, I'm so glad I went. I had the best time. The speakers were amazing. And what I love too, I was thinking about this morning on my walk, is that all the speakers hang during the event. Like everyone is part of the community and it's really, really awesome.
It sure is. You know, if you have been, for example, following this person or reading their books or whatever, you can go up and ask your question. I mean, They're just there like a regular attendee, except when they're speaking.
Yeah, it was really cool. So last year, and I want people to go back and reference the other podcast episodes so you hear Deb's whole story about the tribe event. So we're not going to go through all like the history of that on this podcast because we really want to talk about what's coming up. But last year we had Linda Wilkes, who I'm going to put it this way. You can correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but has a walk-in soul.
She is a walk-in soul.
Yeah. And then Tara McCallum, who is a spiritual life coach, I would say. And she has a program, The Muse. Did I say that?
Yes. The Muse Method.
The Muse Method. Thank you. She was amazing. There was Grant Cameron, who shared a lot of stories about consciousness. And that was cool. And he brought Sinead with him, and she was super fabulous to meet as well. There was Jeff Lorkey. I learned a lot about orbs through his presentation. There was Jean Kuhn, and she spoke about marketing for business and gave a lot of amazing tips. And then Marcel and Kimberly, and they shared about CE5, which is something I knew nothing about. So I learned a lot about that. I remember sitting at breakfast with you because breakfast is a huge part of that weekend. It's such an amazing experience to be at the inn and have breakfast with everyone. It's just such a great, peaceful environment. And I remember when you said to me, do you know what a CE5 is? And I was like, no, but I'm going to learn a lot today. And I did. And it was such a great thing. And I wrote an article about it. And then Grant had us on his YouTube channel. And I'm going to put the link to that article and his YouTube video in the show notes so people can hear about the amazing things that happened during that CE5, because that was really cool. And I turned green.
Yes, you did.
So I had a really, really, really amazing experience. So I want people to read that article and watch that video so they hear about that. And if they don't know anything about CE5s, they'll learn some more about that too. So yeah. So anything else you want to share about last year that I kind of missed? I at least wanted to kind of give a general recap and share those speakers so people can Google them and learn about them too.
Well, I would just like to add that a CE5 is Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. You know, we've all heard of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. There was a movie. But Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind is when you personally call the craft into you. And we did it last year with about 50 people in the dark, and we got 2 craft, 2 entities, and hundreds of photos of phenomenon. And we're doing it again this year. Oh. So it's so exciting to be able to do it again.
Yeah.
And I do want to just say for a second that, you know, you were a big part of the entity part.
Yes.
Because Melinda, someone took a photo of Melinda and she was green from head to toe. Nothing else was green, just Melinda. And one of the facilitators said that sometimes when entities appear, they can't actually appear in 3 dimensions, so they superimpose themselves on someone. And they superimposed themselves on Melinda, which was just mind-splitting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I saw that picture, I was like, oh my gosh. And then like in the blog and on the video, I explained, like, in my opinion, like how it happened. And it must have just been a perfect energetic match for what I was doing and how I was feeling. And it wanted to show itself. So yeah, it did. And I was green.
You were green, bright green.
Bright green. So yeah, it's just really cool. It's kind of one of those once in a lifetime things that
totally
somebody, you know, and you think, will this ever happen again? Who knows? But if it doesn't, I mean, it's pretty incredible. So,
well, next time you go on the craft.
Yes, next time I will go on the craft, you'll all see me like kind of floating up the stairway, like to eat. Like I'm visualizing ET, you know, going
yes.
up the plank, the runway. Oh my gosh! So tell us all about this year, because how many speakers do you have?
Well, I had 7, but now I have 8.
Wow!
I just signed another person because I couldn't say no. She sought me out. We have a friend in common, and I want to tell you about all the speakers. So first of all, I just want to say, I thought I couldn't top last year. Now, I don't know how I'm going to top this year. And next year's our 10th anniversary, so I've got to top it. But let me just say this. Our speakers this year are phenomenal. Our headline speaker is Sarah Breskman Cosme. She's a QHHT practitioner. There's only 30 of them in the world, trained by the very famous Dolores Cannon, who started out teaching people to do past life regressions. And suddenly, in the middle of one of her past life regressions, the higher self of the client came through and explained the whole story. Why this person was here, what the perspective was, what the challenges were, how to get over them, blah, 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 blah. It was amazing. And so it started happening all the time. And then ETs started coming through. And so she developed a system where you learn how to do this. And Sarah Breskman Cosme is one of the few people on the face of the earth who does this. And she's been on Gaia TV several times now, so you can look her up there. She's on Regina Meredith's show and on George Nuri's show. And she is, when I first heard her speak, I had chills through the entire presentation. And I knew she was important and needed to have her. So she'll be our headliner. We also have a woman that I consider to be the very best medium in the United States right now. And her name is Carolyn Clapper. She is, she's having a little bit of an immune system fight right now. And so rather than come during this tail end of COVID and put herself in a position, she's going to be presenting via Zoom, but it will be a live presentation and she'll be answering questions. And what she's going to do, since most of the people who come are practicing metaphysicians, although everyone's invited, she's going to give you some tips about how she does what she does and tell about some of her clients and some of the stories that she's done. She's just amazing when it comes to health issues. She has an entire team of doctors and shamans and all kinds of practitioners on the other side who bring her the information that this client needs for their health situation. She just blows my mind. She just blows my mind. So I can't wait for her presentation. I set this whole thing up so I get to just sit and be in awe like everyone else. So, and then that day is starting out actually with Joshua Cutchin, who's an author. He's a Fortean author. So that means he writes about unusual things that shouldn't really be happening. And I learned about him through his 5th book, which is actually a 2-volume book called Where the Footprints End. And it seems like it's a book about Bigfoot, but it's really not a book about Bigfoot. What it is it's a book about Bigfoot and fairies and gnomes and banshees and, all of the creatures that have appeared in folklore over the years, over the centuries, and what they have to do with metaphysics, what ties them all together. And he is fascinating. Young father with twins. He's a sweetheart. You just reading his book is just, I had to read it twice. I had to read both volumes twice. There's so much in them. So he's just mind-blowing. That's Saturday. That's our headliner day. You actually can buy a ticket just for that day. And it's approximately a 12-hour day. We start out the morning with gong yoga, and then we go into the speakers. Lunch is included, and then we go out to dinner together, and then our final speaker is our headliner, and that's Saturday. But Friday, which is the day before, we start out with the head of MUFON in Illinois, Sam Maranto, who isn't going to talk about UFOs. He's going to talk about the most uncanny synchronicity that goes backward and forward through time. He has a team of people researching it. It's so amazing. So he's going to talk about that. And, synchronicity is a big deal once you start to open up to the psychic metaphysical world, because synchronicity tells you you're where you should be. You're doing it right. It's all good, And this is an incredible story. Just amazing. You have to hear it.
Wow.
Sam will be followed by Dave Miller and Jay Berg. This is a father and daughter duo, actually, who have been doing CE5s, and they are going to lead us in a CE5 that night. So they're going to take their speaker time to explain to people who have never been to a CE5 how it works, what we do, and, explain some of the things that happened last year and at other CE5s they have done, so that when we all get into the big circle, we'll know what our job is. For example, no talking in the beginning. We're going to be, getting our minds coherent. Mm-hmm. And so we'll have some tones to listen to, and I'll let them explain it. But they're two of the sweetest people in the world, and they are getting us ready for that night. So,
wow.
After they are finished, then there's a break before dinner. There's about an hour break before we start our 3 seatings of dinner down the street at our favorite restaurant.
So good. That is really good.
But this is our newest speaker who just showed up. I love her. Her name is Julie Adriani. She's in the Chicagoland area. She is a physical medium, and she hosts all of the famous physical mediums on the planet. Now, I want to say physical mediumship used to be a thing in the Victorian era. So there was ectoplasm, and there was trumpets and that sort of thing, table tipping. Well, they do all that, but generally speaking, the ectoplasm is, as far as I can understand, is coming through more as people. So it's not just some gooey stuff that's like showing up.
Like poltergeist.
It changes into sometimes just a hand that moves around, and if you're invited to touch it, you can touch it. It's really, really amazing. She also does apports, and of course, all of her famous medium friends do too. And what that is, it's from a French word that means to bring something through. So she brings through polished semi-precious stones. And generally speaking, at the end of a seance, everybody gets one to take home.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And she's going to bring them so we can see them up close.
Wow.
And she's also going to bring photos. So for me, this is going to be a huge experience because I've always wanted to go to a physical medium, had no idea there was anyone in Chicago doing it. So the closest I could find was New York City. So I am thrilled that she's going to be there, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
So in addition to all of this, we have, excuse me, we have what we call, this year everyone's a VIP. And what that means is that I'm just really doing everything I can to make this the most amazing weekend you've ever had. So Thursday, dinner and a movie. This is the day you come, find the place you're going to stay, decamp. We all go to dinner, and then we come for a movie at the venue. Very low key, very an interesting movie that I'm going to show. And then we do Friday and Saturday as described. And then Sunday, we just meet for breakfast. We have to be gone by 11 from the venue. So we just come for breakfast and say our goodbyes and trade phone numbers and all that great stuff. But one of the things we're doing this year is I'm doing a raffle, and it's called Gifts from the Universe. But wait. You don't have to buy tickets. When you arrive, you will be given 3 tickets, and there are 3 bags, one for each of the prizes. The first prize, the first prize I'm going to describe to you is a professional green screen that if your office is a mess and you have to go to a meeting, you pull up your green screen.
Oh, yeah.
It's so handy to have a green screen. I can't tell you how much I love mine. And so that's number one. The second is what we're calling the Interstellar Gift Kit. And this is from the venue itself, and which is a 5-star B&B in the middle of nowhere. And you've stayed there, Melinda, you know. It really is.
The attention to detail is, in my opinion, mind-blowing.
I know.
I kept looking around my room going, oh my God, that's so cute. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So,
well, not only that, but they've thought ahead. Mm-hmm. Everything you could possibly want, that's already covered.
Yeah.
If you're having breakfast there, I have to say that I don't care if you have a preference or an allergy or a problem with this or that food. You don't have to write a letter and explain it to them. Breakfast is already included that way. They've already gluten-free, dairy-free. We've had people with really, really very unusual needs and it's already covered. You don't even have to ask for it.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing breakfast.
And
so what they're doing is
team is so nice too. The people that work there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so nice.
They are wonderful people.
Too, they were really nice.
Well, what the Interstellar gift package is they are giving you $150 towards a 2-night stay. The reason being that the rooms go from about $450 to $850, depending on which room you get. So you get the suite of your choice, but you have to, of course, catch them when it's available. I'm telling you, they're booked solid all the time. But this is something that they're offering, so it's good forever. They're also going to stock your fridge. They're giving you money off of their honey products. They are beekeepers, and they keep their own bees. And I just want to say this. When they bought their farm, which is just 3 miles down the road, they wanted to keep bees, but the grounds were all clover. And clover makes that really sickeningly sweet, cloying flavored honey that you get in the grocery store.
Oh.
And so they tore it all up, 100 and some acres. They tore it up and they put down native flowering plants. And I don't really like honey because it's so cloying. It's just icky. When I tasted their honey the first time, I couldn't believe it. It's light. It's floral. It's so different from the honey in the grocery store. So you definitely want to get their honey. And they have other little things included in that. So that's the second of the three. And then the third of the three is the wonderful people who are doing our CE5, Dave Miller and Jay Berg, own, they own a metaphysical shop in West Chicago, Illinois, called The Journey's Path. And they have donated an 18-inch tall citrine crystal for your home or your office or your altar. It's jaw-dropping. I went to their shop to look at it, and I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
So here's how it works. You get 3 tickets. Let's say you already have a green screen. Don't put your name in the green screen. Put your name in the other 2, and you can decide which one you want more so that you can put 2 into one and 1 in the other, or put them all into just the one. You can do whatever you want with your 3 chances. And that's it. They're free.
Very smart. Wow. That's cool. I have to share this really funny story because I don't think I told you this. In the lobby, they have the honeycomb on like this cute piece of decor. Do you remember, in front of the check-in desk? So the final night, I walked up the stairs into the lobby, and Linda Wilkes and her daughter and maybe Pandora and maybe 1 or 2 other of the women, and they're standing there, and I thought they were eating cake. And I really like cake. So I was like, what are you guys eating? Like, I was feeling left out. Like, oh my God, they have cake and no one shared with me. And they're like, no, just take a piece of the honeycomb. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah. And they all looked at me like I was crazy because I have never had that experience, right? So I'm like, okay. So I took a piece of the honeycomb, and it was amazing. I was blown away. So I had a whole other next level experience of trying something there that was delicious and outside of my comfort zone, really, and obviously a little goofy. But
well, their honey you can do that good. With their honey, really good. Because it's not so intense. Mm-hmm. Also, I want to say it sounds like only women are going to this. No.
No, there's lots of guys. Yeah.
Lots of guys coming. Mm-hmm. Don't feel that you're left out. So there are a lot of men. So we're meeting on August 11th, which is dinner and a movie check-in day, 12th, 13th, and then 14th is our goodbye breakfast. And it's just worth it for you. I mean, I'm so excited by it. I can't stand it. So, so you can purchase tickets on my website. The website is actually internalwilderness.com, internalwilderness.com. And there's a drop-down menu for the Worldwide Metaphysical Tribe. That's the event. So there's ticket buttons on every page for that. It's the easiest way. And then on the first page of the tribe information on my website, you can find our Facebook group, a video of last year, great video. You can find the video of our CE5 last year where we show all our pictures. You can see Melinda be green. And, you can join the Facebook group, which when you do, you're on top of everything. All the information goes through there. So.
And you're so good with your email blast too. So you'll keep everyone up to date. You do
always.
Yeah. So that's so cool. And what's the name of the town in the inn, just so people can understand where it's at?
Before I go there, I want to say you can't get a room at the inn. All the rooms are taken. Okay. But I rent the entire place for 3 nights. So all the room renting always goes through me. Okay. So I just take the whole thing. And the name of the inn is the Lincoln Way Inn.com. And the town it's in is Franklin Grove, Illinois. Mm-hmm. A town so small there's no stoplight.
But there's a really good gas station that has fountain Diet Coke. So I was super excited about that. And it was in walking distance. And then the amazing Italian restaurant is like right down the street. And I was really surprised because you and I had been talking about it for so long. And I had this image in my mind that it was like going to be this really far distance and so far, but it's really not. It's like 20 minutes from Aurora, like the big outlet mall. Like, it was very close. Like, I was really surprised because I'm from the south side of Chicago and I have family in Naperville, and my immediate family lives in Valparaiso, Indiana. So it's a very awesome location. So it's very easily drivable from so many places in the Midwest. So I just want people to really realize that, like, it's a great location, even though it seems remote. And, Deb just made fun of stop sign, but it is actually really accessible. So just know that from personal experience being from Illinois.
And it's 2 hours from O'Hare. If you are flying in, we always have people flying in. Mm-hmm. So 2 hours from O'Hare, and it's a pretty straight shot.
Yeah. And I want to say, because I came in and out of Midway and rented a car, and I think it only took me an hour and 45 minutes to get to Midway. So very easy. It was easy drive, very easy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this year I can't wait. I mean, if it's not August soon, I'm going to explode. So.
Well, I was just so glad that you wanted to do this podcast. So I was looking at the calendar. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to get you on again because before all the tickets are sold out, we need to get this out to a wider group, and would love for anyone that has been part of the event. If you're listening, please comment in the Facebook group after we post this and
for sure
and share. So people really have the opportunity. I just see you continuing to grow every year, and congratulations on the 9th annual. Like, that's amazing.
Thank you. It started out as just a bonfire in my backyard for my psychic friends. So cool. In 9 years, it's really exploded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
International speakers and international attendees now.
Yeah. Yeah. Because seriously, Grant and Sinead are from Canada. So that was last year. And
I have someone coming in from Germany this year who bought a ticket to attend.
And I also, a lot of your speakers are authors. Am I correct?
Yes. So most of them.
Last year I had brought my book from Grant, and Grant signed it. So people bring your books. Like, I think that's just so great because, like I said, everyone's around. So take a few minutes and have them sign your book and get to know the speakers a little bit.
Well, we're also hoping that we will have a couple of book signings going on. So
nice.
Hopefully they'll be bringing books or shipping books out to me and then doing book signings on the downtime. So, yeah.
Oh, and are you doing what you did last year in terms of having any vendors or tarot card readers or?
I haven't really pushed that part yet, but I intend to. So last year we did have readers and vendors, and I am pushing for that, but I haven't really focused on it yet. So I'm going there soon.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Cause I know there are some people that did that, and some people really enjoyed having that experience. And then really quick before we wrap up, hey, if someone wants their cards read with you, hello. I know you don't do it at the event because you're too busy, but in general, people can email you for a reading, right?
Absolutely. You can reach me at deb@internalwilderness.com. You can also go to internalwilderness.com and read about my practice. I've been reading professionally for 35 years, and I'm pretty fast. Yeah. That's what I like to say.
You are my number one referral for readings. I have referred you many times. As I mentioned, you were on podcast 104. You've read for me several times and for Ryan. So if there's any men out there that are curious, Deb is the perfect person for male readings because she is fast. She's to the point. She's not going to hold anybody up. And then also too, just again, episode 131 is where Deb gave more history of the event and the backyard. And I remember
pretty crazy stories there too.
You shared that one. Oh my goodness. So you have to check out that podcast too, to hear more of her history with the event and a special sighting that she saw. So
amazing.
That's very cool. Well, anything else that we've missed?
I think we're covered. Depending on when you may hear this podcast, speaking to the audience, I still have a couple of rooms that include breakfast at the inn. Now, they're not at the inn, but I do rent some Airbnbs out in the neighborhood. And if you rent a room there, you also get to have your breakfast at the inn. So again, it's not to be missed. If you want a room, these are 2 cabins side by side in the woods. They're pretty much identical cabins. They're group situations, but everybody has a room with a door, except for the people who have chosen to sleep on the loft. And those are choices that they made. It's not like you have to do it, But I do have 2 rooms with doors left. So depending on when you hear this, you might be able to get in.
Wow. Cool. Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited. And I'm also just so grateful for your friendship. Oh gosh, we're going to be going on 2 years, and I just love that. I appreciate you so much. So thank you. And I highly recommend this event. I really hope that it sells out to where there's like a wait list for the 10th anniversary. I think that'd be so cool. And I'm excited to share all the information about the speakers too. So please reach out and connect and join Deb's Facebook group so you are in the know.
Thanks a million, Melinda. You're a great friend, and I know that next time you can make it. I know this year is a conflict, but next year, if you can make it, the 10th year is just going to blow your mind.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much. And check out the show notes for all the information, people. Thank you for listening, and please share.